one part of your role is to look into the future, and I guess everybody's looking into the future. One of the things that's fairly clear is perhaps 4 million people unemployed, number of senior and middle managers losing their jobs because of redundancy and because of the situation with companies, which poses the question that there will be people with redundancy money and maybe a pension that's accrued over a number of years, and there'll be a number of options as to what to do with the redundancy money and what to do with the pension, or indeed what to do with their life. What advice are you finding? More and more people talking to you about that?
It's beginning to happen, because that is the reality. I mean, the result of what we've seen over recent months in the pandemic is that certain industries are going to struggle in terms of survival. Let's be absolutely honest about it. And I don't think there's an exaggeration. Unemployment is going to rise. There's no question about that. And one can only guess at what level it might peak, as it were, but it will rise, in my opinion, quite significantly, simply because certain industries will not be able to survive without, getting rid of some of their employees in order to survive that very thing. That means there are going to be lots of people out there with redundancy packages, which they won't know what to do. If we come back and remind ourselves of why a redundancy package is created in the first place, it's there in order to finance them through the situation of becoming unemployed, not earning money, to the point where they become employed again, and it's about financing them through that. So I would say to people with redundancy money, they need to be careful about suddenly spending all their money on one particular thing that they've been given, because they may find that it takes longer than they expect to get to the new position of employment or even self-employment. So you just need to be careful what you might do with that. And I certainly wouldn't be saying to somebody, you need to invest your redundancy package in order to make some money. That would, in my opinion, be the wrong thing to do initially. Wait until your life has re-established itself, and if there's anything left over, then you might consider doing something with it. It's an interesting question about, senior management, or it doesn't have to be senior management. Anybody who was employed by a fairly large company. Rolls-Royce and British Airways and everybody is announcing that they're going to make lots of redundancies. Those companies have very good pension schemes of which those employees have been members of. There's going to be a question they may not realise they need to be asking is, what is the right thing for me to do with that pension now I'm no longer employed by this company? And the answer is a very individual answer. I can't give you a blanket answer. What I would say is that people need to recognise that that question is there, and they need to get good financial advice on terms of looking at their particular situation and advising them what's right for them. And the pub doesn't necessarily give you the right answer to that question. You do need to seek professional advice, and one you can trust.